I don't do commercials, but AgeUK seems, particularly for someone of my age, 70, to be a very good idea. That when they asked me to help, I wanted to. And what's fun about this particular commercial is that there's a little joke in it, which relieves the tension, but underlying the essential work of helping people who are lonely in increasing numbers, I would have thought. The claim is it's 1 million. I would have thought it was more like 2 or 3 million. But I know, having looked after a very old relative, my stepmother, until she was 100 living at home, that she was entirely dependent on other people's help. Now, if you've got great neighbours, that's terrific. But if you don't, and you're a little bit nervous about using social services because you've never done that earlier in your life, then you need someone like a big organisation to come along and say, it's all right, there's things we can do. And here's someone who you can talk to and think of as a friend and so on. It's all perfectly simple, but obviously needs the cash to roll it along. I'd agreed to help with the campaign, and then discovered that the director was going to be an old colleague of mine, Richard Longcrane, and together we put Richard III on the screen and the Shakespeare play I'd done on stage, and he came in knowing nothing about Shakespeare, and I not knowing a lot about films. We were the perfect partnership really as scriptwriters. And we've always said, oh, can't we do something else together? And here we are, doing something worthwhile at the same time. So it's been good fun. You think about dying and how you're going to die. So your response to that is probably to try and do something about your health and take things easily and carefully. But you know there's going to come a moment when you're going to be utterly dependent on other people. And that's not much fun, particularly for someone like me who's single, doesn't have kids. And then you look around you and you see other people and you think, is that decrepit person just getting across the road on 2 sticks? Are they older than me? Are they younger than me? And then that person who's springing along, I know she's over 80. How does she do it? You know? Did they have a facelift? You know, all these ages. You know, young people are interested in youth, and I'm interested in age, I suppose. And my advice to older people is to keep active, physically, if you can. I mean, I don't go up elevators and lifts, and I don't go up escalators, I walk. That makes me have a bit of exercise. And standing up straight, I mean, we all got something matter with our bones and our spines, and if you've got a disease, it's hard luck. But if you're just out of nick, you could do something about it. And I wish every old person could have a massage at least once a week. Although the old people I've suggested that to say, oh no, thanks, I don't want anyone touching my body. Well, I want someone touching mine. One of the most famous speeches from Shakespeare is The 7 Ages of Man. So age is where you happen to be, you know. It could be a young age, it could be youthful age, it could be middle age. Old age, it doesn't seem old to those of us who are old, unless, of course, we get decrepit in some way. And as long as the mind's working and you've still got enough eyesight to see where you are and enjoy it, you don't have to live in the past. What I enjoy most about being old is not feeling old, and I don't. Everyone will tell you, oh, I'm only 12 inside. It's a bit disappointing to discover in old age that you're not any wiser than anybody else. At least not in this case. But still, you know what you like, and doing new things is fun. And because the clock is ticking, every pleasure you have, whether it's seeing a movie or going out to dinner or going for a nice walk or sitting out in the sun, completing Sudoku, you know, it's an achievement. You can say, well, that bit of the day was worthwhile. I did something. But to be on your own and not able to get out, to be in company of other people, that's dreadful, dreadful. And it's going to be increasingly the case for our population as we all get older. So now, if we can begin to see what can be done to help old people help themselves in some cases, well, that's a good preparation for the time when the majority of the population is old. And let us go on working. I mean, I'm an actor and I'm 70 and I work. Plenty of other people can work or share jobs or help people out with their expertise, and all those are sorts of ways in which people can keep active and just be released slightly from the responsibility of younger years, maybe. Of course, when you're young, everyone looks old, don't they? But man who made a big effect on my life was Bertrand Russell, the British philosopher who used to march against nuclear weapons. The establishment laughed at him, but young people like me thought, well, if someone who's thought about things as deeply as he has thinks nuclear weapons are wrong, I think probably he's right. And so he turned out to be, of course. There are other old people as well. Gandhi always seemed an old person to me, and the way he took on the British Empire and finally got independent India in 1947 when I was a young man, that was impressive. And I suppose Nelson Mandela, everyone's favourite old boy, I was lucky enough to meet in South Africa. You know, when I go on the tube, often people stand up for me. And often my pride won't let me, but sometimes I think, yeah, that's right, I've earned the right to this seat. There must have been a time when the culture allowed old people to remain part of everyday life. I mean, extended families often living together or in close contact with each other because of living in the same street or not moving out of the village, for example. Well, things have changed a great deal, and people get separated from their families, and there are breakups, and I think AgeUK seems to be tapping into people's natural generosity, natural concern for old people, because we all know some, and aware that increasingly old people can be very isolated, and if they don't have families close by, then they need a family substitute, and that's what society can provide. If the government isn't going to do it all, well, that's fine, as long as charities are given free rein and have enough money. So I'm just encouraging people to do what I do and support AgeUK.